What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Hellbilly Day Spa. Oh, just kidding. We're here at the Roseanne After Show here at AfterBuzz TV. Tune in as we cover episode 3 right now.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Oh, those sweet sounds. Those sweet harmonica sounds, right?
I have goosebumps.
Right? Michael, hooking it up this week. I know last week we kicked it off with the AC/DC Whole Lotta Rosie, like what ABC had been promoting with. So, like, it was cute, but
it's time to get down to the basics.
this is what we want to hear.
Classic.
This is what we want to hear. Yes, hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Roseanne After Show right here on AfterBuzz TV. We are excited to be covering episode 3 of this fabulous season 10 reboot. We are in the second week, but as you know, we got hit with a double hitter last week, so we are covering episode 3. Very excited to jump into it. I'm your host, Blake V. We have a very exciting, fuller panel this week with our girl Jen joining us. Let us know who you are, everyone.
Hey guys, I'm Jen Leone. How are you? I'm so excited. Talk to us in the chat. We want to hear you. Love talking Roseanne.
All the interaction.
Love it.
Yes.
And I'm Michael Shirley. I'm glad to be back again this week for arguably my favorite television show in American history.
Really,
Absolutely.
though. Yeah.
We're not kidding when we say that. This is we are super fans. We are like so thrilled to be here.
I'm just so happy it's happening.
Yes.
Like, it's kind of surreal.
Yes.
But I mean, watching it, actually, I watched all 3 today, and I'm just like, finally, you just wanted it to happen so bad. And we all manifested together.
We did. We did. It only took a couple decades.
Yeah,
It's cool.
right?
It's cool, but it happened. So, Jen, you're going to be with us on this panel forever. Forever.
All 9 episodes.
All 9 episodes. She was missing at the beginning when Michael and I kind of just got into our like gut feelings of just jumping into this. So now I just want to hear from you, Jen. Like, we were so excited to just talk about stuff last week and just hear the theme song and do all the stuff. So what is your just kind of like initial feeling of watching all 3 episodes, jumping back into this new reboot?
It was really surreal, to be honest, because but I'm so glad that they did it so well. So they opened up with the couch, and you know, it's immediately I was like, okay, don't blow it. Let's hope that this is really, you know, doing the show justice, because it really was a show that was iconic, and it talked about things that no one really talked about. And Roseanne always had this way of putting in humor in everything that was going on at the moment, and what better time to bring back a show in this time. And we all know she has all of her opinions.
She does.
And, you
Indeed.
know, I love following her and hearing everything she has to say, whether you agree with it or not. It's just always such a great perspective. And I clearly am seeing that she's putting it into a show. And I love the roles that they put the kids in. And Jackie, when Jackie came out, that was really it for me. But of course, the way that they handled Dan in that situation.
Yeah.
I mean, it's brilliant because they didn't drag it out. It's just, oh, you're not dead. Cool. Why is everyone saying I'm dead?
Done. Yeah.
It's done.
It is what it is.
And you move on, and I really think that they're doing such a great job, and it's funny. It's funny. I love it. I'm happy.
Yes. Okay, I feel like that's similarly to how Michael and I felt last week, right?
Yeah, I believe I said that exact word for word.
And just to be clear, I didn't watch. I'm sorry, guys. I was in New York. I was busy, but like I will check it out.
Jen was on the plane, like writing down Michael's speech word for word, like memorizing it before she got here. This is how I feel.
You know, when I saw your Louis, I knew that we'd be best friends. Yeah.
Right?
Got some similar fashion taste.
Yes, yes. See, we're brought together on this panel for more reasons than one. I love it. So tonight's episode, Roseanne gets the chair. Let's jump right into some of the stuff that we covered. You know, we're in episode 3 here, really seeing some of the similarities of what the themes are going to be throughout the season, I'm sure. The biggest, of course, being parenting. We are seeing the very same kind of parenting, you know, journey that Roseanne and Dan went through, but exactly, because it's through Darlene. So it's like everything that we maybe would have gone through back in original Roseanne territory is totally flipped on its head now with Darlene, which is fascinating.
I think when we saw Roseanne holding her, Harris, Darlene's daughter in the sink, I think we were all thinking, oh yeah, that's so Roseanne. But then we're all thinking, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, parenting is so much different now than it was like things like spanking, like there's so many things that
Darlene
just
said.
are different, you know. I did really appreciate that ongoing thing about there's no books. Well, there's a library. What?
It's a library.
Library.
Yeah. I think that's going to be a big part of the show because it is a family show. And we're seeing that Harris is just very much cut from the same cloth as her mama.
Full circle, right to Chicago.
No,
When she said that bus ticket, I'm like, wow, okay. This is how it's going to go.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, so let's jump right into that actually because through Darlene's parenting, we're seeing all the struggles she's going through with Harris and Mark. Last week, we really dealt with some heavy Mark material with him going to school and the clothing and the knife and all of that. It was like really kind of hitting you over the head right off the bat.
It was a lot compared to this episode. This episode was a lot more shallow, a lot more just getting to know, I think, Harris. This was like our Harris episode.
Yeah.
We didn't even see Mark. We heard them talk about him several times. But
I'm a fan of Shameless.
Yes.
So, you know, she's on Shameless and another Chicago show. And watching her, I was like, you know, wondering how it was going to go, what the dynamics were. When I saw her in the previews, I'm like, oh, you know, how is this going to go?
Yeah.
Because she's such a different character on Shameless.
doesn't she
Debbie,
look
yeah.
so much like Darlene?
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
Okay, this is so funny to me. Tell me your thoughts, anyone. Okay, in the face and the coloring and just kind of like the overall scope, she reminds me so much of Darlene.
I was like, I don't see David anywhere.
No, but
David.
speaking of David, yeah, but like, Darlene is so petite, and like Harris is a big girl.
Yeah.
So like,
I think she gets it from her grandma.
David's also and also tall. Like
Yeah.
David is not tall. Like David and Darlene were like relatively
Yeah.
a petite couple.
They were a petite couple.
Shall we say?
Yeah.
So like Harris is like she's a big girl for petite parents.
Yeah.
That's all.
Those Connor genes.
Dan.
Yeah.
We'll say Dan. That's what it is.
It's really in the smile too when they were like, and also scowling, like it's the same face, it's the same mouth, which is interesting because clearly they're not related. But I think they did a great job casting.
Great casting.
And
Yeah.
we finally are seeing someone that's going to have to live with Roseanne that might test her a lot more. Like, Roseanne has been tested many times, but she always comes out on top. But she's got to live with Harris, and she's got to love Harris. So I think it's going to
And
be
she's
really...
got to deal with the bad knee through it all.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be really interesting to see if Roseanne changes or if Harris changes.
The battle, and the battle begins. Yeah, so we see kind of the biggest issue with Harris first is the stealing situation. She goes to the mall with some of her friends and comes back with clothes to sell on the Betsy, as Roseanne refers to it. And they immediately find that she's stealing essentially one of her items has a security tag still stuck on it, which is not typical of your average vintage store.
It could have been worse because it was her stupid friends who stole it and gave it to her to sell on Etsy, which I'm sure they're just going to split the money.
Supposedly.
So allegedly.
Allegedly.
Well, to me, she was like, God, they didn't even take
Michael
this
was
off.
a good kid. Michael was a good kid. We
I
learned
just think
something
'cause
about him right now.
I think the way her just natural reaction to, oh, they didn't take it off. They're so stupid. It's like, I believed it was her friends.
It's a lot of Darlene. So it's cool to see it full circle. And, you know, I don't think that... Okay, so Roseanne has always been in control. She's Mama Bear. She's the head of the household. Now things are different. So where are these lines of parenting and what's happening with Harris? And this is something very serious that Darlene's never done that. They didn't do that back then.
Yeah, Roseanne versus Generation Z versus the millennial.
Yeah, and what's
It's-
important. Like, they're like, I'm getting money and I'm getting out. You know, back then, the kids didn't have an option. They're just stuck in that house.
There was no internet. There was no Etsy. There was no nothing.
Chicago
external
is
you
the
could
biggest
do.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
Exactly.
and like a concert, like the rock concert
Yeah.
that they would go to.
Exactly. So yeah, the motives, the means to get there are completely different now. So yeah, that's a very interesting aspect of like what is available to Harris now and what she's capable of. I mean, this is like a whole new strange world, like technology and social media and passwords into these things, you know, which we see. That was
Dan's flip phone.
Oh, no.
That's great.
Just remember that my dad has that same model.
which I'm glad you said, because the first thing when I saw him take out that flip phone, I was like, how?
Where do they find that?
Where's that
Right.
even available?
It's actually really expensive. I looked into it. I really did. I was like so fed up with the smartphone. I'm like, I'm looking into it, and oh no, that's really expensive.
Why is it? Because they're so vintage. You have to
Yeah.
like you have to like go back in time to get.
Yeah, it's
The
like
OG.
trendy.
I don't know how my dad got his.
Of course it is. Oh my gosh.
Did you see what someone said? Miss
let's see.
MKT, Mark is the dad to Darlene's kids. Remember, the writing of the show switched the girls' hubbies. So remember, Darlene was actually with Mark, and Becky was with David.
We've talked about this a little bit.
Okay,
But I
yeah.
think they're retconning that because we do see. I don't know if you guys saw, but there's a commercial where we're seeing David and Darlene talking up in the room, and she's like, or he says, "Oh, nothing's ever changed," and she's like, "It's called poverty." So, and they said that Becky's husband died, and we know that David is not dead. So I think that
Right.
is not the case.
yeah,
Okay.
because
We
the
are
final,
still trying to figure it out.
And the final episode that we were left with at the very end of the series years ago was that things were
Yeah.
switched and stuff. But
Yeah.
that was in the weird dream world where Dan was dead
And Jackie was a lesbian.
Jackie
She's not
was
a
a
lesbian
lesbian.
now. She's still talking about men and her dilly bars. And
Okay.
Oh my God, so good. I'm so impressed with the writing. I'm just like loving all these jokes.
And they
They're
clearly-
landing so hard for me. It's great.
They clearly didn't win the lottery.
we talked about that.
That is
That
exactly the
bums
point.
me out.
Yeah, you really wanted it to
Yeah,
happen.
I know.
Would have been a lot more fun. But if they had won the lottery, Roseanne would not be an Uber driver. So this is good fodder here. The
And
Uber driving.
I really like when that was one of the one twists that I was really okay with when they said that the two husbands had been switched, because I was like, that makes so much sense. Like,
really did.
I never would have thought about it watching the series, but once that idea was put into my head, I was like, well, yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah,
Obviously.
yeah. Becky's so like kind of like goony, you know, like she's such a, like a goober, you know,
yeah.
and Mark was such a like a bad boy, like
cool.
like, and Darlene was a bad girl, and David was kind of goony, and you like that word?
I love it. I like it.
Goonie. Use it up.
No, I wish they would have stuck with some of it.
Well, and interesting
I
too
don't
to
know.
see where Roseanne's mind was when she was like coming together with the writing team of crafting this whole alternative world that it ended on back when, because that's what she was thinking at the time, you know?
Yeah.
Like, all these people are not how we've had them. Let's
And
put
she
this
knew that was
alternative
going to
reality
go
out.
down as like one of the craziest finales for a long-running show ever.
Oh,
sure.
So
And it absolutely
it's
was.
kind of hard to resist something like that when no one was doing anything like that at the time. Now we get things where, it's all been turned on its head, but back in the 90s, things weren't like super, like, you weren't really uncovering mysteries on
Right.
television.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh no, this was
Yeah.
completely changed everything.
Ahead of its
Absolutely.
time.
So ahead of its time. So yeah, so kind of just to put a bow on Harris's, you know, just growing up, her struggles that she's going through, is we see how much she hates Lanford and she wants to go back to Chicago, just as we see, well, as Darlene did back in the day. So that's kind of like the big, I think, kind of the interesting story arc of this episode, and it's going to continue to be through the season, I'm sure, is just like the matriarchal line from Roseanne to Darlene to Harris, and just like the cycles of just
Do you think?
everything repeating.
Do you think we might? Well, I know we found out this week we're gonna get 2 more seasons. So you think maybe we'll see Harris with the baby?
Oh, teenage pregnancy.
I think there's like no way we could stay away from that, right? Right? She's already getting in with the crazy kids.
That is a fabulous prediction.
Well, to play devil's advocate, kids are not having children now that young anymore. That's
Oh,
that
I
big
don't
thing.
know. I thought that was the new trend with Kylie Jenner and all these girls like, I want a baby.
Maybe now with Kylie Jenner. A year ago it wasn't, but
Yeah.
she's changed it now.
Okay,
The
all right.
Statistics are different.
just because of Kylie Jenner.
Just because of
like
Kylie.
just like Snapchat, everyone stops it. Okay, Kylie Jenner says yes, we're doing it.
Yep. Wow, what a world. What a world, guys.
I hope they address it. I hope they talk about it.
But that's a fascinating
Great.
prediction.
See it not going that way.
Well, and especially because that was the big issue in original Roseanne was like Becky and Darlene and the birth control for each of them and trying to avoid the pregnancy. I mean, that was a major storyline for many, many, many seasons. You know,
I don't know. I
so-
just think they picked a 15-year-old maybe for a reason.
Interesting, Michael.
I don't know. I mean, they are going with the timeline, kind of. Is she
Yeah.
really old enough?
Okay, well, so she's a freshman in high school. So
Yeah.
she's
Does that
14,
It
15?
ended in 98, right? Or was it 97? I forget.
I believe 7. Oh, I'm
Even
sorry.
if
no,
we
no,
go
no, I
that,
think you're right.
if we go that way,
97.
she still
Yeah, I
would,
think 97.
she still would be older than that. She would actually be probably about 22, right?
In terms of
If it was just following like when the show ended,
Okay.
how old she would be today.
so
So I'm saying they chose to
True
make
timeline.
her
Got you.
a 15-year-old for a
How
reason. I
chronological
think.
are we?
Yeah.
Okay, got you. Yeah.
So it ended May 20th, 1997.
1997. Okay.
So,
you're
yeah.
right. So she would be 21
They
or
picked
something.
that age for a reason, I think.
Okay, that's an interesting, very interesting tidbit, Michael. I like
wow.
it. Yeah.
I love it. The conspiracy
I'm just sitting
theories.
around with my
Totally.
Roseanne DVDs.
Oh my god, I love it. I love it. Yeah, so that could very well be. Ooh, and that'll play into our predictions too, because yeah, I mean, you're right. They chose everything to be at the time that it is because that is not chronological. You're so right. That never dawned on me until this moment right now.
Didn't even think about it.
Fabulous.
You heard it here first, AfterBuzzer.
Yeah, Michael gets all the credit. That was fantastic. I love that. Oh my gosh. Okay, so everyone out there, tell us what you think about that. Tell us what you think about that while we tell you about Maria Menounos' podcast here at AfterBuzz TV. Do you want to have fun and learn and grow in all areas of your life? Well, for those of you that do, we have the podcast for you. Conversations with Maria Menounos Podcast Edition is hosted by our own AfterBuzz TV founder, Maria Menounos, and drops every Friday on iTunes. Conversations with Maria Menounos features celebrity and influencer interviews, along with secrets and tips on how to be better in all aspects of life, from health and wellness to career, relationships, finances, and more. Let our Maria be your big sister you've always wanted. Just go to iTunes and subscribe to Conversations with Maria Menounos for free, and be sure to rate and comment, and when you do, let Maria know that we sent you there. Conversations with Maria Menounos Podcast Edition, check it out. Now back to the show.
Yes.
Cool. So kind of the biggest other storyline, which again is really, I'm sure, going to be prevalent in every episode, is Dan and Roseanne are aging. They're aging.
Yeah.
And what we experienced today was the easy climb. The easy climb chair that Dan installed.
I feel
which
like
was
they're
adorable.
hamming it up. They're not that old.
They're not, but it's good. It's some good material,
Great content.
right?
Love it. And just, Roseanne was so fiery back in the day. She would chase after the kids, and she was that mom. And she can't do that anymore with her knees. So she's like, I'm coming, Harris, I'm going to get you. And
in 3 or 4 minutes.
yeah, and then she runs down, and, it's funny. I love it.
I'm hoping that chair is going to stay there for like the rest of the whole show. Just like, we'll see it used for all different kinds of weird reasons.
And how many times have you seen a chair like that in a comedic moment? Like, a chair like that is funny. It's just
hilarious.
funny no matter what you're doing with it. I get flashes of like the movie Superstar with Molly Shannon.
Same.
And the mom had the chair that would go up and like hilarious, So
I really like the fact that he test drove the chair with a bag of rock salt.
yeah.
Wow, it's really holding up.
He's like,
really rivals Roseanne.
this is about equivalent to Roseanne, so should be good. Should be good enough.
Oh, Dan.
Oh, Dan, he does what he can. He does what he
does.
can.
He does.
And he really is just like there in the best ways in these episodes. They have him with these lovely zingers, as always, like supportive and hanging out. It was adorable, them sleeping on the couch today, and he snored and woke her up, and it was such a simple moment, but like, of course that's what they would be doing
The
now.
Wheel of Fortune through Kimmel.
Right? Slept right through it. But it's so endearing and wonderful, and you know, things could have gone a lot of ways. Like, he could have been dead. They could have been divorced. They could have, you know, just all
Never.
kinds of, all kinds of things.
We
could
would
have
not
happened.
watch.
We would boycott.
We would be on Dan's side, I think.
Right. Aw. But truly, like, you know, just for what it is, and just having them be together in this nostalgic way that we all want as fans is so adorable. Like, I can't get enough of these moments. I just loved it so much.
I love how Becky just doesn't seem like she has changed, like, one bit, like, at all.
Yeah, despite age, despite marriage, like, despite all these life
Darlene
things.
just seems so different, and Becky's just, like, looks the same and acts the same. It's just uncanny.
And is, like, running around complaining at people.
The blood on her, like, flamenco
Right?
dress or whatever.
Her flamenco waitress dress. Yeah, what was it? Bottomless margaritas and a dart
Dart
contest?
Dart contest, yeah.
That sounds like a Becky and a Mark kind of thing.
Sounds like where I'm hanging out on a Friday night.
I'll hang out with you.
Yeah. Come on down, girl. Come on down. We'll get the washing machine ready.
I
the
really
sleeve
thought it was
good.
funny how I was expecting the audience to laugh at this point when they're like, I just had to put all my clean clothes on the dirty washing machine, so now I have to wash them again because like their washing machine that they use to clean things
in
is
their
just
own house.
so dirty.
Yeah.
that they have to wash it again.
It makes me think of an episode back when where Jackie was going to get a washer and dryer, and Roseanne was like, oh, you're going to get a washer and dryer from someone else who put their strange dirty clothes in there? And it was like such a big deal to like have like a strange washing machine situation. So here we are again, except it's her own washing machine. On top, it's too
At
dirty.
least they have a new fridge.
Very interesting.
Yeah, that is true.
Thank God.
It's
Thank
good
God
to
for that.
see that Roseanne has the same, you know, quirks and values. And
Truly. And cleanliness factors.
yeah, all of it.
I'm just dying to see what the clean spot looks like under the couch now. 'Cause those floors look even worse.
Right. Doubtful they've recarpeted.
And I've been noticing, maybe it's just the camera quality is higher for the way that they shoot this. I noticed like all these like chunks out of the wall and like cracks in the wall that are like painted over, which I never noticed in the original show. Like the walls being kind of like janky.
It's all the years of spackle and Dan getting in there, some elbow grease.
But you notice just like big
refilling that
hunks out of the
drywall.
wall, but they're like been painted over. Which is
Or I keep
very-
noticing like an outlet that has no cover on it behind the couch.
I haven't seen
like,
that yet. Yeah, that's cute.
You could just throw a cover on it. Like, no big deal.
Yeah.
Well, like in I think it was the second episode with the vacuum cleaner. She's like, yeah, everything was settled.
Yeah.
Really good. And now
Stirred
you
up
just
all
spurred
those
it up.
smells.
Oh, Roseanne.
I know, right? Well, you know, it's all that Roseanne history, all that house history. It's a
Do you
lot
think
going on.
If you guys aren't moms, are you?
No.
Do you think if you were moms, you would be like everything has to be clean, or would you be like it'll make their immune systems higher by being
I'm
around all the
probably
dirt?
about a high immune system.
Okay.
It'll be the level that it needs to be. I'm not a super clean freak though. I mean, of course I like to be clean and just being my own person. I try to be as clean as possible. But when you got other people to deal with, for me, it's like too stressful.
That's
like,
a lot.
It's a lot
That's
to
a lot
deal
to
with.
deal with. I'm actually a weird germ freak. I won't say it out loud. I won't express it. If I see something, I'm not gonna say it. But I will go wash
In your
my
head,
hands.
you're dying.
Oh yeah. Hotel rooms. You know, there's certain things to me. I'm just. But I couldn't imagine having kids. I think if I did, it's just like whatever.
You let some things slip.
Oh yeah.
probably.
I mean.
Yeah.
You'd have to. You'd go crazy.
Oh, for sure. Or like maybe you have like your sanctuary space of wherever that is. Like maybe it's like your bathroom or like your closet or like some little piece for you to keep clean or do whatever. But it's like everywhere else in the house that is communal. How on earth could you possibly?
I'm like that with my
You know?
couch.
Right?
I'm like people sit.
You want to eat food? Go sit on that.
Yeah.
Well, I have a blanket down, and
That's your good place.
Your sacred space.
Oh, okay.
It's flipped. It's flipped.
Yeah, I mean, it's clean. It's just I'm crazy. I'm just a crazy person. And I own it. It's fine.
It's fine. Hey, gotta do you in this life. Live your best life. Because Roseanne does.
Yeah,
Like
she
we
does.
should all. I put a note here because this was special. I just really loved the Wayne Newton reference too.
Yeah, I hope they go to Vegas.
Wouldn't that be just so magical if they did? And
He's
did
still alive, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Oh, they gotta put him
That would be
on.
like a great cameo because he did it before. So
It would be wonderful.
Yeah. No, that has to happen. It's happening. I've already decided.
It is determined. It is determined. Well, we were talking about this last week too, where I am all about the Halloween episode, and we were like, "There's gotta be right."
No, I record them right before Halloween, and I have to watch them all.
They're iconic.
They're so good.
They're so good. So I was like, "There's gotta
the
be."
Thanksgiving episodes are really good.
They
are.
always
Like,
drop
I would
bombs.
say that they're funnier than. I mean, the Halloween ones are just kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But the Thanksgiving brings the drama.
Oh, yeah.
Every
Always
year.
drama.
I love
Always.
those probably more. But yeah, I think that there might be some specials. I don't see how they could deprive us from.
Yeah, because there seemed to be
A
talk
Halloween
that there
or
was no
Thanksgiving.
Halloween episode
Yeah.
this. But I am having trouble with
I feel
that.
like we're gonna get an episode in October. We're gonna get an episode in November, and we're gonna get an episode in December.
I would love that. We're gonna tweet Roseanne and harass her. And be like, can you
right.
make this happen?
Right?
You know they've thought about this for sure.
I hope.
to.
I really hope.
To.
Big benchmark in each season.
Every single season.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
it's,
have to.
It's a consistent thing.
It's like Thanksgiving '94, Thanksgiving '95. Like it's
Right,
very
right.
consistent.
yes.
Christmas isn't quite it's all about Thanksgiving and Halloween, I guess.
Yeah, it was.
Definitely. Yeah, so we'll have to see. More, maybe they're going to sneak something on us
They
when we're
got
least
to.
expecting. I feel like they have to, but
They did talk about Easter in, I think it was the first episode where she's eating the peeps.
right.
So I'm
right.
like, okay, they're being on point with the timing.
And they just, well,
Maybe season 2 will drop at the end of October.
yeah.
You never know.
Oh, see, you just don't have all the solutions.
I mean, they're professionals.
I'm just really
okay?
wanting to believe all of my theories, so I'm trying to make up stuff.
I'm loving all of them. These people are professionals. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're living it. Just, we're picking up what they're putting down, but it's like they know what they're doing. So they've got to know that those are the crowd pleasers, the Halloween episodes, these sort of like major milestones, the celebrity cameos, the old character cameos.
Oh, do you guys remember Sharon Stone? She's like, I'll fight your dog.
Yes. The trailer trash welcome wagon.
I love that.
Welcome,
That was a
welcome.
good one. That's a good one.
She's fabulous. Yeah. You just can't beat all this stuff.
They haven't disappointed yet.
No.
So I have full faith.
Yes, I completely agree. Yeah, so those were kind of the main like hubs of this episode tonight. Did you guys have any other like highlights or thoughts or anything that you thought was extra special for tonight's episode?
I'm still on cloud 9. Like I have to watch them like 2 or 3 times again just because I need to like let it soak in more. I'm just more so of just excited that this is happening, and yeah, so I'm just nerding out.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Like I think we're all definitely on that like nostalgia cloud right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we were just spoiled from last week because we got like every character last week and we didn't get that this week. So when the episode was over, I was like, that was really short. It felt like it was super short, but I guess it's just because we watched an hour. But I want more Jackie.
Jackie is great this season.
I want more Jackie.
I mean, like, first of all, her character is a gem. Second of all, she's just like delivering these lines amazingly. Like they're just right. She's just like that best kind of, the best person and the best actress for Jackie, and just like her whole evolution and just how she is now is just, oh God.
I
it's
like
the
it when they
best.
go out into the world too. Like when you see them outside the house, like at the Lunchbox or at the Lobo. Like I want to see them going to one of their famous spots.
Yeah.
Or like the hairdressing place, like any of that.
Yeah, just
like,
ready for them to get out of the house.
Yeah.
That's it for me. That's
Yeah.
really my only complaint.
No, and that's a good thing to bring up too, because you're right. 3 episodes in, we're only in the house. We keep dealing kind of with these 2 main issues now: the parenting through Darlene, and then the issues with the kids.
We did get to see Becky's restaurant last week, but that was it.
Oh, jeez. Poor Becky. I really thought Becky would do better because she had the grades. She had the grades.
Oh, she's
Mark
one of
brought
those
her
like
down.
she's like one of those people that have book smarts but no common sense.
Yeah, it's very true.
If there's a bad decision to make, Becky will pick it.
Poor Becky.
Poor Becky.
Poor Becky in that flamenco
Well,
dress.
I mean, they always say Becky does exactly the opposite of what we want her to do. So I don't understand why they haven't figured out to just start pushing her into the wrong direction.
Wouldn't that be funny if it's just been a case of mistaken, like, reverse psychology all these years?
Oh my gosh, that would be great. Can
We
that be an
actually
episode?
wanted you to stay here.
All they needed was just to like drive her down to the ground, and she would be golden right now.
Yeah.
Oh, missed opportunities. Poor Becky. So yes, we've kind of seen more of the same for 3 episodes, and it's interesting. I mean, they're hitting these important, topics and stuff, but I totally agree. I'm thinking maybe next week is the week to venture outward, see some sort of expansion of the topics. How did we leave things with the surrogacy? With Sarah Chalk's character and what she was going to do. Are they still working on that?
I was just actually going to bring that up.
Yeah.
I really like the line. I know you guys covered it last week, but it's the line with is that how it works? Like when they have sex? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that was great.
Your husband.
The husband and her.
And Becky.
I think it just was left unsaid and probably will bring up later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they didn't. There wasn't a definitive yes or no. They must be still be working on it.
They're keeping Sarah Chalk around for the whole season.
They
so
have to.
I don't see how. I mean, maybe something will happen. Like Becky will be like, "I'm not giving it back to you," or something like that. But I think she's definitely gonna get pregnant.
Oh, that would be so interesting.
And whether they should sell the baby or not.
Right. Well, because Roseanne and Dan said that too.
Yeah.
They were like, you know how we would treat this. If that baby was brought into this earth, we would fight to keep it and love it and raise it till it had a baby of its own or something. Against whatever. Or against our will. Anyway, so they already have these thoughts. Like, there's no way you're going to have, like, your own, like, blood, biological child and then give it away to someone else. They already showed.
Yeah.
Showed their cards on that one. They're not down.
My head's just on predictions. I'm like thinking of like Jackie and Roseanne running.
Okay, hold on. Okay. Okay, oh my God. My mind is like, it's about to be blown. Okay, so we're going to go there right now. I think we need to spend the rest of our show on predictions and comments.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV.
Yeah, because this is major. So we need to spend some ample time on this. Okay, hit us, Michael.
Oh, I love when Roseanne and Jackie are in a car. So I want to see her like trying to talk Jackie into doing Uber, or like Roseanne's like, oh, I have to go do something for Becky. Like, will you be my Uber driver for the day? And like her do it wrong. Like, I want to see them go to the lunchbox, and I want to see like Mexican people running it, because they said that they're going to be talking a lot this season about how the fact that the community, I always thought Lanford was like a fictional community, but apparently there's a community in the same location
That it's based on. Yeah.
And they said it's all like 60 something percent Mexican, and only like 20% white now. Whereas it used to be like a all white city, and I think we're gonna see problems with Dan and his construction business losing out to maybe some lower bids by some.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, they said they're gonna get into how the culture has changed in that part of Illinois, so I'm really looking forward to that. They've been teasing some stuff with David, and they've been talking about opioid addiction, and from what I see in these previews, I think I know who's on it. I really just
so tell us who's on it.
I think David is out of the picture because he's probably on heroin or some sort of
something,
drug,
some substance,
some sort of opiate.
That's interesting.
Because I watched several of the the interviews.
Yeah.
And Sarah, it was really weird watching Sarah Chalk on The View.
Ooh, how
went
did that go?
It went well. It went on, well. That's their network. That's the ABC network. So it was just kind of weird, you know, because you know that's like their competition. But in the lunchbox, I want to.
We need to know.
I think the
We need to know.
the it's not loose meat. I think it's tacos, and I want to see that because we saw in the opening, we saw they're all eating Mexican food.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably part of when they're going to be talking about how everything is different racially. I think we're just going to see a lot more about.
And Becky appears to be working at a Mexican restaurant for simply like the uniform and the decor of what we saw. Like, we don't know this, but it seems to be.
Totally.
The lunchbox and the Lobo are big on my things. I'm predicting are coming soon.
I would love to see Clooney. And I...
Such a small part.
I am 100%
I'm sorry.
with you.
I just think
All
that he
right.
should come back.
Fabulous.
I think everyone should come back.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
Crystal. I want to see Crystal and her son and everyone. Is her ex-husband or her husband who died still in the bridge? Remember,
That
he
is
was
such a great episode.
Sunny. Yeah.
I want them to bring up the episodes, but also, you know,
All those
incorporate
little
that
things.
little things and just undertones. I know there was a line in this episode that brought out something, and I don't think people caught on. It was very undertone. I'm gonna have to go back and I'll bring it up next week, but no one laughed at it in the live audience, and I'm like, that was something from like way back when. Let's like, you know, just
what
little
was
things.
it?
I'm gonna have to look back.
Oh, okay.
I was just too much. Too much.
I know, it's overwhelming. It is.
So I feel that there needs to be that, and also, get out of the house. Maybe stop at Walmart too. You know, how they have such low prices.
Like a Forever 21. That'd be funny watching Roseanne and Jackie and stuff like that.
Well,
Yeah.
the problem was always they didn't have money, and how are they gonna buy, you know, paper towels? Well, guess what? You could get that stuff now for $1.
Yeah.
So what is it now that they're gonna be struggling with?
Truly, and they spent so much time at the mall back in the day. I mean, the girls were going to the mall. Roseanne was at Rod Bell's, you know? And
Yeah.
so, like, this whole kind of lifestyle of, like, the mall being where you go for life and hitting up all these stores and, you know, everything. I mean, that was, like, a major portion of the show.
Maybe they hit on that with the whole Betsy.com.
Betsy.
I mean, it's definitely a new dynamic, and it's funny because it's like, how do you portray that? It's not like a physical place, you know, building that you can go shopping at or something. So it's really kind of like a nebulous thing you talk about, like the Betsy. She's selling it on the Betsy. But, you know, we did see it for a second where she's like, I'm meeting some friends I don't know at the mall, Harris, tonight. So maybe they will have some outings to the mall, because arguably Rod Bell's is probably some different department store now. Arguably, you know, they probably do have a Forever 21 or something like it, or the mall, the Super Walmart is connected into the same parking lot, or, you know? So, yeah, seeing those aspects that were so tied in previously makes so much sense now, and would be like just everything that they had before could be written now to just be so entertaining and hilarious. Like, there's like the possibilities are endless.
Absolutely.
And it seems to be working too. Like, the writing is good.
And also the chemistry is great.
Yeah.
You know, they picked up basically where they left off, and the kids, I feel like, really mesh well. And I want to see DJ and what his life is.
Yeah.
We haven't gotten like any of DJ.
Yeah, no
He's-
DJ yet.
Yeah.
I found out some stuff though.
Do tell.
The daughter, his daughter, her name's Mary in the show. She is the daughter of DJ and the little girl who he refused to kiss in the play.
I love that.
Oh my god.
I just got chills.
What a full circle amazing thing.
I love that.
You're gonna see a lot
so
more of
much.
that stuff, I think. And now that they have
that's amazing. Yeah.
I guess
Everyone.
this kind of can go into our news bit too.
Yes.
But they have renewed the show.
We have some exciting, exciting
Yeah.
and interesting tidbits.
They've renewed the show for 2 more seasons. And
I just
were we right
fall off my chair with that.
Were we right last week about who Roseanne was going to get a call from?
Who said it? Who said it here on this after show panel? I mean, we were talking about it here. We were talking about it right here.
I love that. So we found out that
like 2 days later, Michael texted me with the article, and I was like,
well,
oh
the
my
next
God,
day,
it happened.
Donald Trump Jr. tweeted at her.
Yes.
And then the next day, President Trump called her and wished her congratulations.
Huh.
Yeah.
Huh. How about that? Interesting, huh?
We've got our
Very
pulse on the beat of America.
The political climate of this show. Yeah, and you know, this is definitely going to be a huge talking point for us here is Roseanne's political outreach and activism and just like voice in her show and in this country. I mean, she is a very political figure, and she's a very like dynamic figure, and whether you agree with her or not, I mean, I'm sure that we even on this panel have lots of varying opinions of like what she may or may not think, but regardless, what she's putting out and what she's showing to us is fascinating and entertaining, and even on the level of just like seeing how our country now incorporates very much a media aspect into every level of its running. I mean, we have a former reality TV star as our current president of our country. So it's very interesting now that someone like Roseanne, who has an interest and a past and a passion in politics, this might not be far from her, guys. Going forward,
Roseanne for president.
She's already
I
run.
really don't think we're gonna see Roseanne as a president, but I would not be shocked at all if we find out she's the new governor of Hawaii or mayor of
believe that.
Honolulu.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, I could see that, like, no doubt. I don't know about president. I think she's probably a little too out there, a little too.
And our current president doesn't have his moments. Just saying.
I think the money, she wouldn't spend her money on a campaign the way he would.
Right.
She would want everyone else to put up the money, whereas he would do it himself.
Fair enough.
You know what? I think she'd get it though.
Yeah,
like she'd get the money.
Yeah, and I mean, it's interesting. It's an interesting thing to think about and talk about. I mean, regardless of if we really would see her, the fact that she could now really run in a realistic way.
She's got way better of a
fascinating.
chance than that Stone Cold Steve Austin or whatever. You know, like I would think, I mean, and he is still doing it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Very good point.
I don't know. Yeah, I think the one thing we all can take away from this, even though we agree with certain family members or not, the most important thing is to talk about what you think, why. Don't let that like hold you and your family apart.
Yeah.
Like, just agree that you can't disagree. I mean, just agree that you
to
can disagree.
Yeah,
But Jackie had an altar. She was dead to her.
I really, really love
So
Really
great.
dead. Yeah. Yeah.
And all the nice things she said at her
it. It
funeral.
was so good. That was probably my favorite part of
Oh,
the
it's
episode.
so good.
Right. Oh my gosh. Well, episode 3 was a hit. We're fans. The writing's great. We'll be back next week. And you better be too. You guys have any additional thoughts? I'm on board with all of this. I agree with all of this. They like it.
Good.
Oh, here's an
Nosy
interesting
neighbor.
comment. Yeah, nosy neighbor. Joseph Boza wished Roseanne had a nosy neighbor this season. That would be
Maybe.
that would be interesting.
I loved that blonde lady in the 80s that
Yes.
was just so neurotic. I loved her. And I feel like we might see her again
Todd's
since we're getting
mom.
more
Todd-
since
what
we're
was her
getting
name?
more
Yeah.
seasons. I would
Bowman. Kathy Bowman. Kathy Bowman.
That was good.
Yes, and then they had to move back to Chicago, and they had like a whole season worth of material of craziness. So
Yeah.
that's a great.
Could they have like
Maybe
the
he's just a
same
DJ. You
they have
never
the
know.
same floor plan
Yeah.
or whatever, but it looks so much better.
So much more upscale.
I could definitely see her popping up for sure.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I even forgot about that with the kids and everything and the
Yeah.
dynamic. So who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more to see, and it's just a shame that we only get like 22 minutes each week for our episode because we need more.
Yeah.
But that's okay. We're going to see what next week has in store for us. Thank you guys so much for watching. We are going to wrap this one up. Roseanne gets the chair, and then we will be back here next week to follow up on episode 4. Thank you so much for checking us out. Be sure to continue the conversation. Reach out to us. Let us know what you think about tonight, what you think about us, the show, the future, what you want us to talk about in the future. My name is Blake V. You can find me on all social media at Blake V Media. And this is my beautiful, fabulous panel. Where can they find you?
I'm Jennifer Leone. Tweet me at Jennifer Leone TV and talk everything Roseanne. I'm down for it. I'm so excited.
And I'm Michael X. Shirley on Twitter and Instagram. You can also find me on AfterBuzz's Project Runway finale on Thursday night and Marvel TV Weekly on Mondays if you're into comic books.
Fabulous. That's going to do it for us, everyone. Have a great week. See you next Tuesday.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments and questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.